It's been a little while, but at long last, your favorite four letters are back on the air, bringing you Hickman County sports coverage. It's WNKX. It's the Hickman County Middle School Bulldogs. It's the East Hickman Middle School Eagles in the district championship, live from inside J.E. Cisco Memorial Gymnasium here at Hickman County High School, and we are currently broadcasting through Facebook, YouTube, or the Access Tennessee app, available on all Roku devices. I'm Josh Copley, and we'll be bringing you tip-off here at 6 o'clock, top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. We are just under 4 minutes away from tip-off inside J.E. Cisco Memorial Gymnasium, and how excited are we? The last time we were on the air before this terrible winter storm was at East Hickman County High School between the Hickman County High School Bulldogs and the East Hickman High School Eagles. And now our first game back since the winter storm. People are still recovering from all the damage done, but there's no better way to welcome back a little bit of normalcy than with Hickman County sports. And tonight it is a huge game. It's the district championship. It's the Hickman County Middle School Bulldogs against the East Hickman Middle School Eagles. And these two programs have had so many awesome battles already this season. How could you forget the finals of the MTAC tournament, in which the Hickman County Bulldogs were able to defeat East Hickman in overtime in what would be considered an instant classic. And if you thought that game was good, if you thought that game had a lot of stakes, this one takes it up a notch. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you all have been recovering from the damage caused by Winter Storm Fern. We know it's been hard on everybody. We know a lot of people lost power. There have even been some people across the state that had even lost their lives. It's truly been a terrible, tragic circumstance, but it's always good to be back here covering sports, helping us to forget about the last week. And I do want to give a very, very big shout out and a very big thank you to everyone that was working so hard to get people back to normal over the course of this last week. If you're a first responder, if you're a lineman, if you're an electrician, or if you're just somebody in the county that wanted to help out, your service is so greatly appreciated. This county thanks you, and WNKX thanks you. And of course, all those county officials leading the charge as well. Your efforts did not go unnoticed either. But you know what they say, sometimes it takes a little bit of bad to make you appreciate the good. And I think the last week has made us even more excited for this game here tonight to get back with you on the air. Of course, I'm Josh Copley, and I'm joined by a very special guest, a very special broadcast partner tonight. It's a man who's had a pretty awesome start to his 2026 high school basketball playing, and that is Brody Worley, of course, the senior at Hickman County High School. Brody, thanks for being with us here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate being here. It's going to be a blast. Looking forward to it.
Now, I know you guys were supposed to be playing right here inside this very gym hosting Riverside, but with all the circumstances, the game was canceled. But a bright spot is we still get to watch some basketball, and it's a pretty awesome district game.
Yeah, for sure. Watching this district championship with, two hometown rivals, and especially them being middle school, it's a lot of fun. And us not being able to play tonight, I think that helps us a little bit too. It gives us a little more time to prep and get ready. But we're going to have some fun and watch some basketball tonight.
As we were talking, Brody, this last week, this winter storm, it took a lot out of everybody. Of course, it wears on you physically, mentally, but we're finally back at it here on WNKX. And also want to give a very special thank you to John Michael Lewis, student at Hickman County High School, who will be helping us produce tonight. And we're going to give it away to the national anthem. And that concludes our national anthem. And now it's time for the introduction of the starting lineups for each squad. And as I look out across J.E. Cisco, we know that a lot of roads in the county still aren't perfect. But with all that taken into consideration, there's still a pretty darn packed house here at Hickman County High School. And we expect nothing less from either of these two rabid fan bases. The starting lineup for the Hickman County Middle School Bulldogs. First, it's number 0, Bruin Dotson, followed by number 3, Talon Smith. And it's number 4, Aiden Wilkerson. And number 12, Liam Chilton. And rounding off the starting 5 for the Hickman County Bulldogs, a man who has been one of the most valuable assets on this team, number 24, Lucas McMurray. Looking over at the other side for the East Hickman Middle School Eagles, we see number 11, Hunter Phillips, number 30, G. Lampley, number 50, Weston Gobble, number 1, Wyatt Stiles, and number 3, Brentley Victory. These Eagles coached by Justin Walton, and these Dogs coached by Mason Floyd. Two phenomenal head coaches, two very talented teams, but only one can call themselves district champion. And we are underway. McMurray wins the tip, and it goes into the hands of Bruin Dotson.
And Josh, you know what they say? It's more of the fight in the dog, not the size of the dog in the fight.
Absolutely. Smith pulls from 3, it rims out, and rebounded by Gobble. Now East on the break. When Gobble takes a tumble, fires the elbow, stepping through. There's Gobble inside, off the glass.
And Josh, that's going to be hard to guard if they do that all night. Finding their big man, letting him get up above everybody else and make some shots.
And Brody, these two teams have played countless times already this year, so I really feel like there's nothing either team can hide from the other.
Absolutely. At this point, you know, they know everything about each other, so this is going to be, I think, a good game to watch.
And Wilkerson has that knocked loose, and it's East Hickman again on the offensive. Stiles hands to Victory. Bounce pass, it's Phillips. Inside to Gobble, but it's taken away by Wilkerson. Wilkerson drives, takes it, and has it blocked out of bounds by Gobble. So already, Brody, we're seeing a Weston Gobble a problem on both ends of the floor for these Dogs.
Absolutely. I mean, what is he an 8th grader?
Yes.
I mean, that's a tall 8th grader. He's gonna, that's just a presence down low. And so whether he's actually contesting your shot or not, he's making your shot harder, just being down there.
Still 2-0. And they do call it out of bounds on the line. The fans wanted it. It was pretty apparent. 4:34 left in the first quarter. 2-0 Eagles lead here early. Dotson at the wing. Pass inside to Wilkerson. The corner. Talon Smith. Oh, again it rims out, but it's Dotson with the rebound. Chilton, he fires from 3. This one also no good, and Gobble secures the board. In the corner, Phillips, he tries from 3. Short. And there's Wilkerson. Bounce pass to Dotson. It's a foot race. And he lays it up and in.
Great job, Aiden Wilkerson, getting his eyes up and hitting Bruin Dotson for the open layup.
Stiles inside to Gobble. Open. Easy 2 for Gobble. 4-2, Eagles ahead. Dotson to McMurray. Tries to give it to Wilkerson. Too much traffic. But it's kept in by the Dogs. Smith out to Dotson at the wing. Was looking for Smith back in the corner. He's open. Pass is tipped. Smith, little floater. Oh, that's a pretty shot, Talon Smith. Knocking it down for 2.
That's a great shot by Talon Smith. You know, kind of a iffy pass, had to go get it, making the read of the bigger defender and floating it up over him.
Ball in the corner. Phillips tries again from 3. This time too strong. His first shot short. This one too long. Maybe third time's the charm. McMurray goes to the corner. Smith, head fake. There's Chilton. McMurray, he tries from three. Don't see this too often, but he knocks it down. And Brody, we know Lucas McMurray, his strength is inside, getting rebounds, getting putbacks. But when he's doing that, that makes him a very dynamic player, hard to stop. And gobble, oh, the and one.
Josh, one thing I noticed about this Hickman County team, and I think what has its factor in making them such a special team, is they do not have a designated point guard that I've seen. I mean, you know, in the no pressure and, you know, in the made basket, they're checking it in to Bruin or Liam, but off the rebound, they don't really care who brings the ball up. They're just getting the ball and getting it out and up the floor.
And we got a takeaway there. Wilkerson wants to drive, and he's fouled. Lampley and Stiles were there on the defensive end. Let's see who they get. It's going to be Stiles called for the foul. That'll send Wilkerson to the line. That first free throw is good, and Brody, it feels like there are fewer big game players than Aiden Wilkerson. Whenever the lights are brightest, that's when he's playing his best ball.
Absolutely, Josh. I think for being as young as he is and just thriving in those big moments with lots of pressure, that's where he does best. Very poised for how young he is.
And he knocks down a couple of free throws, and free throws are a very important aspect of the game tonight. You know, in these rivalry games, they get physical. We see fouls start to accumulate, but which team will thrive better at the line? Phillips in the corner. Bounce pass, Wilkerson got a hand on it, and it's going to stay with the Eagles. East Hickman wearing the black uniforms, blue lettering, white trim. Hickman County, white uniforms, red lettering, black trim. Phillips, corner, blocked by Chilton. But Phillips recovers, drives. The shot is blocked, but not without a foul. That's going to send Phillips to the line. And it's 9-6 with 1:48 left in the first quarter. And all 6 East Hickman points have been recorded by Weston Gobble. A chance for Phillips to add his name to the list. And that's what he does, making the first free throw. And Phillips gets the second one to rattle in. A new face on the floor for the Dogs. Number 15, C.J. Toddy in the game. He's subbed in for Talon Smith. Ball in the corner, firing away, long. Gobble runs down the rebound, gets it out to Phillips. McMurray and Wilkerson trying to trap. And that's going to stay with the Eagles. Knocked out of bounds, deflected by Wilkerson. Goes across the way to Lampley. Oh, that's a deep three. Way too long. There's Lampley on the board. His putback is no good. Tries it one more time. Again, can't find it. And there's Bruin Dotson down the right side of the floor.
It's a great job of getting the rebound and getting out by Bruin Dotson.
Wilkerson gets it out to Chilton, and I can set up. Inside to Toddy, high post. There's Dotson in the corner. Dribbles baseline. Out to Wilkerson. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Toddy picks up his dribble. Has it knocked free, but there's Aiden Wilkerson. It's a scrap. And a foul is called. And it looks like they got Brentley victory there on the foul. That's his first. That's East Hickman's second tonight. Chilton throwing it on the left side of the floor. Wilkerson drives, gives. Liam Chilton, step back three, and it's good. Under 30 seconds, 12-8. Dogs out in front early. He's taking trying to
one shot here.
Inside. The shot way too strong, and there's Liam down the left side with 15 seconds in the first. Liam wants to drive, hands to Wilkerson, who has it knocked free, and East Hickman has it. Trying to apply pressure. They got 5 seconds and a foul. That's going to be called on Aiden Wilkerson. And Brody, right there, a foul on that end of the floor with 4 seconds, knowing you got something to spare before they turn into shooting fouls. Maybe not the worst thing in the world.
No, not the worst thing in the world at all, Josh. I mean, it doesn't really. And there he is, picking the pass off, trying to get one off before the.
And the floater, I don't believe he got it off anyway, but it misses off to the left. And what an exciting first quarter that was. 3 more left. Your score: Hickman 12, East 8. When we come back.
This broadcast of Friday Night Lights on WNKX is brought to you by Ascension St. Thomas Hickman Hospital. MLEC and ML Connect, your trusted source for power and broadband. Pizza Hut of Centerville. McDonald Funeral Home and the McDonald Family. Heritage Bank and Trust and Three Rivers Community Health Group in Lyles. We appreciate these trusted local businesses for making this broadcast possible. We will return in just a moment.
And welcome back to WNKX. We're about underway with the second quarter from inside J.E. Cisco of the Middle School District Championship game between the East Hickman Eagles and the Hickman County Bulldogs. And it has been an exciting ball game thus far, and that was only the first 6 minutes. So East Hickman will have possession to start this quarter of play. Lampley drives. He wants to take it himself. High off the glass, and it's good. And that ball's batted into the stands by Stiles. And Brody, to your point, East Hickman bringing out this press, I mean, no doubt trying to make these dogs uncomfortable.
Absolutely. This game's going to be different, especially for both teams, because it's in a high school gym. Nothing really changes other than that. This is not the gym they typically practice in or play in, so seeing it's going to be a little different. I think them coming out in this press, start the second quarter, is going to make the dogs have to work a little harder to bring the ball across half court and get set up.
And Chilton has a lane. He takes it, blocked by Gobble, but a foul. That's going to be 2 shots for number 12. Now, Brody, I'm looking down to my left right now. I see Coach Dawson. How does he feel about you as a broadcaster? Is he very supportive of you doing this?
When I broadcasted the girls' game, he said something about me being a better broadcaster than I am a basketball player.
That could be either really good or really bad, depending on how you look at it.
Well, I consider myself to be a pretty good broadcaster, so...
I do too. And Chilton unable to connect on either of those free throws. Lampley fires. Oh, and it sails over the head of Brentley. Victory. He gave it his Boy Scout best. Outstretched arm. He left the ground.
Making them throw that full court pass is going to be key, because if they can continue to throw that full court pass, it's going to keep them from, they're not going to be right positions.
And nearly a turnover. Dotson hangs with it, and Toddy is fouled. A lot of contact there, Brody. So it'll be Chilton throwing in just next to the East Hickman bench. He gets it out to Bruin Dotson. Bruin Dotson walking a tightrope over there, being guarded closely by Stiles. Oh, tried to force the bounce pass in there. Nothing gonna Nothing there, and a whistle and a timeout called by Coach Walton of East Hickman, and both teams will talk it over. So now, Brody, a question I've got to ask you is, you've played basketball for 4 years at Hickman County High School. You see a lot of familiar faces on the other side when you're playing different schools. I mean, how do you change up your game enough to where you're not predictable once you've seen a person play so many times?
Turnover there. It's difficult because, even great players, after playing against a team so long, they're going to begin to figure you out. So I think not necessarily changing how the players play individually, but figuring out, maybe implementing some new offensive sets and maybe sets that, result in the same thing but have a different look, just to kind of try to throw the other team off, especially game planning.
That's going to be a walk called on Wilkerson on the other side of the floor, forced by that East Hickman defense. It's been suffocating so far. We know Hickman County has a lot of great scorers. This East Hickman team plays phenomenal defense. That's going to be an over and back, rather. Midcourt violation.
And the Dogs are going to have to continue to do that, keep the ball outside and out of the hands of Gobble. And I think we'll be in pretty good shape if we can do that. But, he can get in there and do some serious damage if you allow him to.
Well, McMurray tries a bit of an off-balance jumper, and it's blocked by Lampley. That's going to be a foul going against the Dogs. They'll get number 24, Lucas McMurray. And they got number 15, CJ Toddy, on that foul, and Talon Smith back in. So it's a couple of fouls in this first half already called on Toddy. And he steps into a three. Kicks off the rim. Rebounded by Lampley. He puts it back, hits off the side of the backboard, and it falls in the hands of Aiden Wilkerson. He's on a fast break, and Lampley flies in from behind, trying to force the takeaway, and he's called for a foul. And Smith floats it out to Chilton. Bounce pass inside, looking for McMurray. Knocked away by East, but
looks like there could have been a foul there.
Oh, and Bruins' corner three is blocked by Victory. Now, Brody, number 3, Brentley Victory. He is not the biggest guy on the floor, but he is definitely one of the scrappiest. He plays 100% every time he's on the floor.
Absolutely. Super athletic, and playing with the effort he plays with in every possession just makes him such a good player, and player you got to have on the floor.
And another three by Talon Smith. Looked to be online, but again, just the rim doing him no favors. That's going to be a foul called against the Dogs, met by a chorus of boos.
That'll be Aiden Wilkerson's second foul.
Styles drives past the Gobble. Nice hands. Tries to pass it back out to Victory and does. It's loose. It's a scrap. And a jump ball.
Possession arrow is going to give that one to us, Josh.
And that possession arrow will favor the Dogs. Number 5, Brayson Kelly entering the game for the Eagles. Subbing out Brentley Victory. The officials talking over something, Brody. We need a new ball, I believe.
I believe Talon Smith might have shot the laces off the ball. I think that might have been what happened.
We saw a lot of fighting there for that ball on this close end of the floor. And that one looks like it ought to do. Now, Brody, going back to Talon Smith, we've seen him take a couple of three-point attempts from that corner. Hasn't gotten any to fall so far. And as a three-point shooter yourself, how do you keep that confidence when you haven't seen him fall?
As a three-point shooter specifically only, and I'll be honest, it's kind of hard if you're only shooting threes and you're not getting them to fall. Keeping that confidence up and still not being afraid to shoot the next one's big. But get inside, either, hit the mid-range or get to the line and shoot a couple free throws, see them go through the rim, and then let it fly again from deep.
And Wilkerson wants to drive, and that'll draw a foul. And right now, Brody, it seems like with East Hickman's positioning, it's almost like they have no choice but to foul. I mean, to stop Wilkerson, because they're not accounting for his speed right now, I don't believe.
Absolutely. Got a very quick first step. I mean, right there as you see. So they're fouling on that recovery. After they get beat, they're coming back and fouling.
Stepping through high off the rim, and how about it, Wyatt Stiles getting that one to fall. Not an easy shot by any means. Smith. Quick passes over to Dotson. We've got under 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. We're all tied at 12. Smith, he tries again from three. Again, it kicks off the rim, rebounded by Lampley. Stiles steps into it. Too long. Right to the hands of Liam Chilton. They're pushing it down the floor in a hurry. Dotson has it knocked out of bounds from behind by who else other than G. Lampley, and he has been a captain of this East Hickman defense. Out to Dotson. Bruin tries a deep three. It was online, just didn't have the trajectory, and he steps through. Nice move, but not without a few extra steps, and that'll be a walk.
And that's a great job by Hickman County defensively to keep him outside of the paint, make him pick up his dribble, and then make his decision while moving and forcing the walk and the turnover.
We're on the right side, has it knocked free. Stays with it, though. Great effort. And now Talon wants to drive. Underhanded layup is blocked. Smith is trapped. McMurray tries from three. There's another one.
If he's doing that outside, that's going to be interesting to see how these Eagle defense adjusts to that.
So who would have thought it'd be Lucas McMurray being the primary three-ball shooter? And Stiles gets tripped up a little bit, and that'll be a foul called on Liam Chilton. That's the second foul called on Chilton. Several of these dogs already with 2 fouls.
And Josh, like you said, with these dogs, a couple of them being in that 1 or 2 foul range, they're going to have to stay smart. I mean, it's early. It's not even halftime yet. I mean, we got 1 minute and 6 seconds till halftime. They got to be smart and not pick up a dumb one here.
So Lampley's putback wasn't able to fall, but he does draw the foul, and that'll be a couple of shots from the line. And that's the third foul called on Aiden Wilkerson. If you're a fan of Hickman County, not what you want to see.
Yeah, I believe they're going to get him out of the game, trying to keep him safe for the second half.
And Wilkerson subbing out. Back in is C.J. Toddy. And Lampley's second free throw is short. That's going to be an over-the-back foul called on Gobble. And I guess, Brody, if you wanted to give a downside to being so tall, it's really easy for those officials to see those over-the-back calls.
Absolutely. I mean, even if your hands are straight up, being that much bigger than the person with the ball, obviously, it's just going to look like a foul. And we see Tyler McKinnon sometimes get in those situations for our high school team, just being such a big presence down there. A lot of guys bumping in, not necessarily him creating the contact, but them going into him, that can have a big number.
And McMurray's first free throw is off the front iron. Number 5, Larson Beard in the game for the Dogs, taking over for number 3, Talon Smith. And McMurray gets the second free throw.
Big free throw there.
It's a 2-possession lead for the Dogs. A minute left in the first half. Phillips. Right there, a bit of hesitation, and it cost him.
And CJ Toddy not really fully committing there and kind of being in between, forces them to consider, are they coming to me? Am I open? What's going on? And forcing that turnover.
Toddy drives, bounce pass, Beard, blocked by Gobble, but a foul is called, and Larson Beard gets taken to the floor. Toddy helping him back to his feet, hoping he's all right. Clutching at that left leg for a bit.
And that's what these Bulldogs are going to have to do. They're going to, with how much of an impact he has defensively, they're going to have to get inside, get to the free throw line, hit some shots, and get him in his foul trouble.
And Beard looked over at Coach Floyd, and perhaps after these free throws, it looks like Talon Smith ready to check back in. Can Beard bear down and get this free throw here? And he does. That's Larson Beard's first points of the night, and he'll be subbing out. And I believe that's the left leg that he was clutching at, and that'll be attended to on the bench. Styles driving through, gives the corner with Phillips. Up top. Styles, jump stop, feeds Lampley off the glass for 2.
And that's great court vision there by Lampley. Getting inside, drawing the defender, and making the easy read for the easy bucket.
And he's Hickman trying to trap these Dogs. 12 seconds in the first half remain. Dotson fires away. Misses off the front of the rim. Chilton's put back off balance is no good. Rebounded by Phillips, 4 seconds. Styles has to go, says a prayer. No good, close but no cigar. And that is how our first half will end. Your score, Hickman County 17, East Hickman 14. 1 half to go until we determine a district champion. We're going to step away, but when we come back, it's the second half on WNKX.
This broadcast of Friday Night Lights on WNKX is brought to you by Ascension St. Thomas Hickman Hospital. MLEC and ML Connect, your trusted source for power and broadband. Pizza Hut of Centerville. McDonald Funeral Home and the McDonald Family. Heritage Bank and Trust and Three Rivers Community Health Group in Lyles. We appreciate these trusted local businesses for making this broadcast possible. We will return in just a moment.
And welcome back to WNKX. We are just under 2 minutes from resuming play from inside J.E. Cisco. And Brody, you and I were talking as soon as we went to break, and this has been a very low-scoring game, and I'm not really sure if that surprises us at all.
It's not a, don't get me wrong, this is a great game to watch, great rivalry. Don't get me wrong, this is a great game, great rivalry. But when you see a team 5 times during the season, and in tournament play when it matters, you're like we said, you're going to find out everything you want to know and more about a team. And then once that happens, it becomes a defensive game. And that's exactly what I think this turned into, a defensive game. Low scoring, forcing the team to take tough shots. Both teams are doing great defensively, in my opinion. But it's going to be a low scoring game. I mean, you see a team 5 times, you're going to figure them out. It's going to turn defensive. And that's just how the game's going to go.
Well, we've seen there's really been a different story for both sides offensively. And looking at the East Hickman side, in the first quarter, it was all Weston Gobble. He had 6 points. He accounted for 6 of their 8 first quarter points, and it was all from inside the paint. Now, whenever he wasn't scoring as much in the second quarter, it was G. Lampley right there, getting those rebounds, getting those putbacks, driving to the lane. So Gobble and Lampley have been the 2 primary scorers. We've seen Phillips attempt some 3 balls, but much like Talon Smith on the Hickman County side, just not getting much to fall from beyond the arc.
Absolutely, and, back to the threes, Talon Smith, struggling to get them to fall. That's going to happen to both teams being in somewhere they've never, played in very few times, so that's going to be different. And with Gobble and Lampley, they work very well together. Lampley gets inside, makes defenders make choices, and then makes the right read, getting the ball to Gobble. And if they can continue to do that the whole game, it's going to be
And looking over at the Hickman County side, the story offensively for the Dogs has to be Lucas McMurray knocking down a couple of threes, and that's what makes this Hickman County team so dangerous. Any one of these guys could lead in scoring on any given night. It could be Aiden Wilkerson, it could be Bruin Dotson, it could be Liam Chilton, or any of the others. It could be Talon Smith, it could be Lucas McMurray, and tonight, McMurray has stepped up, making those threes. That's going to go out of bounds. That'll be Hickman County ball. So, still a whole half left for any one of these young guys on the floor to step up, make some big plays, contribute in a big way in this district championship game. Toddy looking for Chilton. Liam drives, floats it over, Gobble, doesn't get the roll. There's Lampley. Down the floor, wide open, Styles takes it to the rim for 2. And that's a guy East Hickman wants to be scoring a lot more, and that's Wyatt Styles. Toddy takes it, and Lampley, like a fighter jet, comes flying out of nowhere and denies the Toddy shot, but a foul is called. And Brody, I'm not sure if I've seen a more violent block, even at the high school level. That was vicious.
Absolutely, that was he come in through there with some anger, I believe. But Lampley just continues to impress me. He's super athletic. Does even defensively and offensively, he's reading other guys. He's watching. He's seen the opportunity to block that shot well before he got anywhere close.
So Toddy makes both free throws. Styles drives. And a walk. The East Hickman side wanted some contact, but that extra step was taken before the referees called it. There's Chilton, showing off that speed, flying down the floor, inside to Toddy. Out, Dotson dribbles right, McMurray open inside. Oh, and doesn't get the roll, but Gobble called for the foul. And Brody, I want to give a shout out real quick to number 1, Wyatt Styles of East Hickman side. Usually it's your teammates that pick you up, but right there, picking up McMurray, good sign of sportsmanship there.
That just goes back. Yes, this is a rivalry, but these kids they don't go to school together today, but they know these guys. They talk to them. They're friends off the court. It's nothing personal. So in those moments, you really see, just basketball. They're out here having fun.
And that's going to be the fourth foul called on Gobble tonight. So if they lose him, a big blow to this East Hickman defense and offense.
Absolutely. He matters so much to East Hickman offensively and defensively. Him being out of the game, it's going to hurt East Hickman, but it's just if the Dogs can capitalize on it.
When Toddy stays with it, goes to Chilton. The ball's loose. Styles and Chilton doing battle on the floor, and it's a jump ball called by the Stripes. And the possession arrow will favor, I believe, the Dogs, yes. Smith fires out to Dotson. Inside, McMurray takes it himself. A little touch, missed. It's batted out to Brayson Kelly. Gets it to Lampley. Lampley fires. Victory drives, off-balance shot, misses off the right. Hickman County tries to push the envelope, and Chilton has it ripped away by Lampley, but a foul.
And that's a little bit of an unfortunate call there for Lampley. Yeah, probably a foul, but just wrong place, wrong time, making a read, making an attempt to go get the ball, and just got called for that unlucky foul. It'll be his third.
And that'll be the third foul called against Lampley with 4:19 left in the third quarter. 21-16. Hickman County in the lead.
Josh, with East Hickman and Hickman County being in the Leno, having some guys, some majorly important guys in some foul trouble, some other guys on both teams are going to have to step up. And for Hickman County, that's been Lucas. He has stepped up and nailed a couple threes, got inside, got fouled, hit some free throws. So, like you said, this Bulldog roster is so deep and have guys that can, pick up on any given night and do what they need to be done. And East Hickman just the same. Guys stepping up with Gobble being out. That's going to be what's going to have to happen in this game.
But I think on that East Hickman side, defensively, they've done a good job at, keeping and limiting the 3 points attempted by guys like Bruin Dotson and Talon Smith. And we saw Talon have a few attempts earlier in the game, but not much came of it. So that's definitely a victory on the east side defensively. Forcing McMurray to take those threes that he doesn't usually take all that often, not as much as the other guys at least. But he just happens to be hitting them tonight.
And I'm sure Coach Floyd recognized that he's probably going to get left open on the three-point line. So, let's get him in the gym this week and get some shots from the three-point line. Let's get those falling.
So Smith had a bit of an off-balance three-point attempt there. Fires across the way. Victory quickly to the right. Phillips tries from three. And again, no good. Rebounded by the Eagles. Pass out. Styles steps left. He pulls. It's off left. Tipped up. Lampley's put back. Misses off the iron, but a foul, and that'll be 2 shots.
We'll have to get in there and box out, Josh.
And Ron and I have talked about this on the high school broadcast, and one way to lose a game is by giving second chance opportunities, second, third, fourth chances, because eventually a foul is going to happen or the ball's going to find the bottom of the net.
Absolutely. I couldn't. I'm not a mathematician, but I'm sure if you looked at second chance, third chance, fourth chance opportunities, most of those probably end up either in 2 free throws or the ball going through the basket. Absolutely. So just 2 points, maybe 3.
And trying to save it. So Phillips tried to save it there, out of bounds all the same. It'll be Hickman County ball. Back in is Aiden Wilkerson for Talon Smith. And Brody, East Hickman has really struggled from the free throw line tonight. They've had a lot of chances to close this gap, to really either tie the game or take the lead, but haven't been able to cap off those free throws. Chilton drives, gives. McMurray tries again. This one too long. Rebounded by Toddy. Tries to get it to Wilkerson, but it goes off the leg of an Eagle, and it'll stay with the Dogs.
Dotson.
There's Chilton.
To Chilton.
McMurray.
Murray.
Fires across the way.
Wide open.
Dotson. Deep three. Missed. Wilkerson's rebound rattles in.
And that's a great rebound and put back for Wilkerson, just getting the rebound and keeping the ball high where other defenders can't get it.
Ball in the corner. Victory fires to the left wing. That shot's high and too long. Being knocked around, and Wilkerson comes up with it last. Down the floor, Eagles in pursuit, goes for a shot and fouled. And Wilkerson has been so aggressive driving inside tonight. It's resulted in either made shots or free throws. That first free throw misses short. Wilkerson has 2 made free throws and a field goal already tonight. But as you know, Brody, you can't just look at points to determine someone's value to a team on any given night.
Absolutely, Josh. And, we'll look at Lim Chilton. Now, I keep up with, these middle school scores, and Lim Chilton has his games, certainly, but a lot of the times he's one of the lower scoring guys on the roster, but you see that in different things. Some things that come up on the stat sheet and some that don't, Gets a lot of deflections in the right place at the right time on defense a lot of the times. Rebounds, just push the ball at the floor. So all these guys have things that they do that just contribute to this team so much, whether they show up on the stat sheet or not.
Well, you mentioned earlier how these Hickman County Middle School Dogs don't have what you'd consider a true point guard. I feel like the closest thing to it would be Liam Chilton, though. I mean, he is so comfortable, so confident in bringing the ball up the floor. He's a phenomenal passer as well.
Absolutely, and, that him being able to, put that ball on the floor, keep your eyes up, and go full speed like he does, full court, it's going to make that transition to high school basketball a lot easier, and I think you're gonna be seeing a lot of Lim Chilton next year in high school basketball. You're going to be seeing a lot of these guys next year.
And I think someone whose play style is eerily similar is Wyatt Stiles, and his points right now, he only has 4. It doesn't reflect his talent as a player at all. I mean, he is a tremendous athlete, able to drive the ball, bring it up the floor confidently, able to maneuver himself really well, and even though he hasn't been racking up the points as much as he'd like to tonight, but he's going to try it here. Stepping through, off balance, and an offensive foul called on Stiles.
And that's a great take there by C.J. Toddy, getting there early, setting up, taking that hit, putting your body out there.
Reminds me of another guy that's great at taking charges, who may or may not be sitting to my left right now.
The charge is just... It's just a safer bet. I mean, if you make the attempt at taking a charge in high school or middle school basketball, you're probably going to get the call. You get the ball back, you get a stop, and nothing bad happens for you offensively. You just get the ball back, and they get no free throws, no foul, anything like that. So it's just...
That's going to be East Hickman ball. And the Dogs not making it easy for the Eagles. Fires it out Lampley. Wilkerson got a hand on it, and there's McMurray.
And we got to see a little bit of the football in Aiden Wilkerson right there.
Looking like a defensive back, hawking that ball down. Wilkerson drives, picks up his dribble, ball's loose, and it's picked up by Kelly. Lampley fires a left-handed pass. What a beauty that was. That's going to be an easy foul on Liam Chilton. And Brody, usually, whenever you see that arm swat down, the officials are going to call that 9 times out of 10.
Absolutely. I think myself included and a lot of other kids, basketball-wise, Lim's an athletic guy. He can get off the floor. So being disciplined enough to make that contest without swatting down, keeping your hands straight up is hard to do. And, especially in middle school, you're thinking block that ball. Don't let that ball come out of his hands, and that's what Lim Chilton did right there. Just got a little unlucky, call for the foul.
That's going to be the 3rd foul called on Liam Chilton, but it doesn't come back to bite him too bad. Victory unable to make the free throws. Wilkerson trapped, tries to pass it out of bounds, and that'll be East Hickman ball. So a good trap there by the Eagles. Stiles steps through, and there's Chilton called again.
I believe they're going to sub Beard in here for Lim Chilton. He's got 4 fouls. That's a player you want in the fourth quarter, so they're going to get him out and try to protect him from another cheap one.
Gets it out to Styles, directing traffic. Guarded by Dotson. Wants to drive. Wants to take it all the way and doesn't get the roll. There's Wilkerson again. Getting swarmed. Heading towards the bench, out of bounds. That's the Eagle ball.
Josh, the Hickman County side does not seem very happy with that. That is not their ball, but I think that was the right call there. I think it got tipped.
I mean, Brody, if you'd have told me that with a minute and 41 left in the third quarter, it would be 24-16, with how many great scorers there are on both sides of the floor, I would have called you a liar. This has been, I mean, the essence of a defensive battle tonight.
Absolutely. Like we have already, defense and free throws. That's what this is going to come down to, I believe. And one thing I think I'll compliment East Hickman here on is the Dogs have some pretty lethal three-point shooters with, Lim Chilton, Bruin Dotson, and Talon Smith. Them limiting those, I mean, they've got their fair share of threes off. Lucas has hit, 2? But them limiting the shots by those players is doing worlds of work for the East Hickman. They're not having to, they're making the Dogs score the ball inside. And I think that's what's causing this to be a little bit of a lower scoring game.
Styles drives, floater comes up short, tipped into the hands of Aiden Wilkerson. Guarded by Victory. Goes to Dotson. McMurray has a lane, takes off, and that's going to be a walk called on McMurray. And that is a fortunate break there for the Eagles because he had all sorts of daylight to the rim.
Absolutely. You just got to catch that, then go, not go and catch, because, then you get stuck in between, get called for that walk. So you just got to stay disciplined.
And those are those mistakes that, you learn from experience. All these guys, of course, still in middle school. A lot of room to learn and grow. Ooh, Wilkerson looking for Toddy, batted away by East. And there's Lampley. 60 seconds left in the third. Inside, it's Phillips. Spins, puts it up, doesn't get it to fall. Lampley fighting for the rebound. Styles puts it up, it's short. Again, East with another chance. Short off their iron again. And Toddy's got it, being swarmed, and a foul called on the Eagles. And that is going to be shots for the Dogs with 5 team fouls called on East Hickman already in the third. Goodness gracious, this has been just a fight is the only way I could put it. But now, Brody, would you say a scrappy defensive battle? Does that almost work in East Hickman's favor? Keeping it close, keeping it grounded.
I mean, absolutely. Keeping this, low scoring, small lead, they can, if they keep playing like this defensively and get hot offensively, then this game can make a quick turnaround.
And Toddy misses both free throws. East Hickman trying to work down the floor. Dotson and Wilkerson meeting Victory. Gets it left to Lampley. McMurray blocks it, and Toddy's got the takeaway. Oh, Toddy lost it. Lampley picks it up, pushes it down to Styles. Styles wants to drive, spinning through traffic, and he's fouled. And Brody, when you think about keeping the game close, I mean, you think back to the MTAC, that conference championship final where East Hickman trailed for a lot of the game, but they kept it close enough where they were able to rally in the fourth quarter, forced an unlikely overtime, and they gave themselves a chance to win. Now, Hickman County still won that game, but that's all East Hickman wants is a chance, because if they get that chance, then you never know. It's a 50-50.
Absolutely, and keep it. The Dogs have to be very careful and very disciplined to understand that, they do have a lead, But they have to stay disciplined, continue to score, continue to play defense, or East Hickman can get back in this game quickly and, make a run.
And Lampley knocks down the putback after the missed free throws. Owen Phillips jumped it. 10 seconds in the quarter. McMurray lost it. That's going to be a foul called on number 1, Jackson Goodwin.
It's going to be a flop warning on Jackson Goodwin. Haven't seen that one in middle school yet. I actually got called on that one at the beginning of the season, but that's the first time I've seen it in middle school.
Oh, nice pass by Lampley. Styles dribbles, pulls mid-range. Doesn't get the 2 to fall. McMurray secures the board, and that's how the third quarter will end. 6 minutes to go to decide a district champion on WNKX when we come back.
This broadcast of Friday Night Lights on WNKX is brought to you by Ascension St. Thomas Hickman Hospital. MLEC and ML Connect, your trusted source for power and broadband. Pizza Hut of Centerville. McDonald Funeral Home and the McDonald Family. Heritage Bank and Trust and Three Rivers Community Health Group in Lyles. We appreciate these trusted local businesses for making this broadcast possible. We will return in just a moment.
So, Brody, we saw at the end of that third quarter, Jackson Goodwin was called for a flop. A flop warning was issued, and you're one of the best takers of charges I've ever seen at the high school level. So what's the science behind taking a good charge?
The biggest thing is a lot of people say you got to have your feet set, which you do. You can't be running side to side and get hit and fall over. But you want to make sure your shoulders are square and that contact is in the middle of your body. If it's on your either shoulder or either side and you fall, you just want to make sure that contact is center of the chest and you go straight back.
Let's East Hickman on the offensive. Inside to Lampley. Over McMurray. It's good. And with Gobble in foul trouble, it might be on the shoulders of Lampley to rally the Eagles back. McMurray trapped. Underneath the toddy. That's an easy 2 for the Dogs.
What a great job there by Lucas, by just keeping his head up, even though being, not necessarily a point guard, keeping the ball on a string and not losing it, and making that read, making that easy pass for a layup.
Dotson floats it inside, has it knocked out of bounds by Victory.
And that right there is probably a shot Bruin Dotson should have took. Probably should have shot that floater, but, we love the unselfishness. But sometimes you got to have a little bit.
Under 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter of this district title game. Hickman County leads by 6. That's going to be a foul on Lampley. Draped over the back, leaping for the ball. And that will be foul number 5 on Lampley, and he'll have to come out for the remainder of this one. And that's a tough loss for these Eagles.
Absolutely. Losing him's major. You're getting back Weston Gobble, and he's also in foul trouble. So the Dogs can capitalize on this by just continuing to attack and get both of them out of the game. But that's just something they've got to make a decision on.
And Lampley exits to a well-deserved round of applause from that East Hickman side. He gives it his all every time he's on the floor. He is a true game changer for that East Hickman team. So it'll stay with the Dogs.
Inbound to Bruin.
There's Dotson. Out to Beard. Floats to McMurray. Back and down. Dotson in the corner. And Victory crashed very quickly, preventing that three-point attempt. Toddy to Dotson. Corner 3. Into the arms of Phillips. And a foul is called on Goodwin. Jackson Goodwin, of course, the younger brother of your teammate Brody, Carter Goodwin. Two really talented basketball players. Styles wants to drive, steps through, underhanded layup. Gobble, put back, doesn't get it to go, but a foul, and that'll be 2 shots. And Brody, one of the, I suppose, funniest parts of this game of basketball is whenever anything happens in the paint, one side thinks it's this, the other side thinks it's that, and at the end of the day, it's the official's decision.
Absolutely. Nobody else, not a player, coach, or fan, has the ability to make that call or change that call. So, you know, from a player's perspective, sometimes, you know, having the energy from the crowd's big, but the complaining about the officiating and, you know, making comments and stuff like that, that doesn't help your team much at all. So a section of fans, you know, just watching and enjoying the game can not affect anything, but a lot of negativity can.
We got under 4 minutes to play. Wilkerson wants to drive, lays it up and in.
That's a great take by Aiden Wilkerson. Beating the bigger defender and getting it off outside of his reach.
It's an 8-point game now. East Hickman going to have to chain some offense together. This Hickman County crowd surging to life. A high pass off the hands of Victory, and that's Bulldog ball. And one thing East Hickman cannot do is get rattled or panic.
Absolutely. This is the moment where they're going to, you know, got to dig in. And
Chilton, corner 3, short, into the hands of Victory. When Chilton tried to jump the pass, but Phillips corrals it. Phillips wants to take it himself, and he's fouled. It's a blocking foul called underneath on McMurray. No, they get number 5, Larson Beard, on the foul.
And Josh, I don't mind that foul by Beard. You know, obviously he didn't mean to, but that's his first, and forcing them to get to the line and make some free throws. They have to make these free throws. And, you know, forcing them to make those is going to be big.
And then Phillips misses the second. It's a loose ball. There's Wilkerson. Now Brody, of course, a lot can happen in 3 minutes. But if these Eagles were unable to come back in this one, and that's going to be an and one. Aiden Wilkerson heads to the line to complete the 3-point play, and that will be... Now, who are they going to call this on? This is big. And they're going to get Weston Gobble, and that will end his night with 5 fouls.
And that's a huge play from Aiden Wilkerson. You know, like we said earlier, in those big moments when you need one the most, that's who you want with the ball.
That free throw rolls off, no good. In the game is number 24, Levi Stinson. A lot of passes here. Phillips tries to go over McMurray, missed it short, and a jump ball. But Brody, what I was saying earlier, if East Hickman is unable to come back from this right now, they're only down 10 with still 2:44 left. We're going to be talking about those missed free throws. There have been a lot of points left on the table.
Absolutely, you know, they're called free throws, but you know, they're not free. You have to make those, and those really do have such an effect on the outcome of a game. And both teams haven't shot free throws, you know, wonderfully, but the team that shoots better free throws in a defensive game like this is more than likely going to come out on top.
But if East Hickman wants to move on to challenge Fairview on Thursday, they're going to have to rally. They're going to have to get defensive stops, turn them into offensive points, and they're going to have to do it without G. Lampley or Weston Gobble.
Absolutely. And the Dogs have to keep in mind this. I mean, there's almost nearly 3 minutes left in the game. It's only a 10-point lead they have. They have to stay disciplined and continue maintaining this lead or pushing it out farther. You do not want to give this lead up. And Josh, just to make sure I understand this right, the winner of this game hosts Fairview, right?
Yes. That's going to be a walk called on Liam Chilton. When Chilton got a hand on it, there's a steal. Liam wants to drive, pulls and knocks down the floater.
Defense leads the offense, Josh. Defense leads the offense.
12-point game. Phillips is trying to do it himself. The shot is called off and a walk. Beard to Wilkerson. Aiden missed it, got his own rebound. The putback, comes up just short. That's going to be 2 shots again for Wilkerson.
And these, if he can knock down these free throws, this is going to be big. This is going to put them almost out of reach.
Oh, and that one rims out.
A tough miss by Wilkerson from the line.
Bo Brightman in the game for Stinson. That second free throw is good. And East up in the tempo. That is deflected out of bounds by Wilkerson. It'll stay with the Eagles. There's nowhere really to fit that bounce pass, and it's deflected out of bounds. There's Styles in the corner. Kelly, victory, 3, won't fall.
Great
And
rebound,
Wilkerson
babe.
comes out of the pile with the ball.
Lost his dribble.
And a foul called on Brightman.
It's going to be the Eagles' 3rd team foul of the quarter.
He's trying to knock it loose. And in Bruin's mind, he's thinking finally the whistle blows. And that'll be 4 team fouls called on the Eagles. The second foul on Brayson Kelly.
And Josh, East Hickman does not want to give, well, I guess that was the 5th foul. Never mind then.
The officials make the correction. That'll be Bruin at the line.
And Josh, this is exactly who you want at the free throw line right here in this moment.
And that's why. Pure, silky smooth free throw from Bruin Dotson.
When you're coached by the great Matthew Dotson and, have a little intervention from Brody Worley on Bruin Dotson, he's going to make those free throws.
Oh, and McMurray heads up over at the scorer's table.
And he read that like a book. He's seen that pass coming before the other guy even thought about throwing it.
Like he was swatting a fly. That was good grief. I'm glad we're up here and not down there. The ball's loose again, but he still has it. Styles dribbling left. Oh, and Chilton jumps it and gets caught in an inadvertent headlock there of sorts.
And that was very, you could tell that was not intentional whatsoever. You know, great sportsmanship helping the other guy up, no matter the situation of the game, the score, who it is, anything like that.
That'll be the second foul called on Brentley Victory. And Chilton at the line. First one misses front of the iron and some visible frustration on the face of Liam Chilton.
Yeah, I think that's because Liam Chilton knows that, you know, he can make those just like that.
And a good job of correcting course. Styles drives, takes it himself, off-balance shot, missed, and a jump ball. It was Phillips.
The possession arrow is going to give that one back to East Hickman.
And we've got a minute left in regulation. Spinning through and a walk. And of course for the Eagles, that's the shot that falls. It's just been one of those nights offensively. And a quick foul. Brightman on Chilton. That'll be two more shots.
See if they go with the hack-a-shack method.
And Brody, it's at this stage of the game where everything seems to really slow down. A minute turns into like 5 or 10 minutes.
Absolutely, you know, especially in this type of game with the fouls and what already being 5 fouls and sending these guys to the line, you know, these 57 seconds can turn into 3 minutes.
And Liam starting to find it a little bit at the stripe. And some substitutions, Bruin, Dotson, and McMurray out of the game. Goodwin and Smith back in. And Chilton knocks down both of those free throws.
Great job by Liam Chilton. Knocking down both those free throws. Extending that lead out a little bit more, knowing he's about to come out of the game.
Fires from 3, too long. It's loose, that's going to be dog ball. 47.3 seconds on the clock. Oh, Beard lost it, tries to save it, and that's going to be Hickman County ball. Some confusion here. Both Beard and Kelly both think they have a claim to the ball, and they'll stay with the Dogs.
Give that one a good one.
That's going to be a carryover called on Hickman County.
Ball got a little high, lost a little control of it, put it back down. Unfortunate, but it happens.
Styles drive, jump shot floater. This one falls. Goodwin trapped in the corner, and he hits the floor. And a timeout was called by Coach Floyd. And Brody with 27.2 seconds, 38-22, Hickman County leads. Things looking bleak for the Eagles right now.
Yeah, it's starting. It's right there out of reach, Josh. You know, there's not much they can do here. You know, keep playing till the final horn blows, but great job by East Hickman. I have a feeling that their game plan was, you know, defense. That was their game plan, and they did a great job executing that. You know, just some shots fall, some don't, and just the name of the game.
Well, in this Hickman County team, I mean, they've only lost 2 games all season. They've accumulated 20 wins. I mean, when was the last time you can think of a Hickman County sport doing that? It's unbelievable what these Dogs have been able to do this season, what Coach Floyd and the rest of the coaching staff, of course, Coach Andrew Conley and Coach Matthew Dotson, they've certainly built a powerhouse program, but East Hickman certainly with nothing to hang their heads about this season. A great year for those Eagles, but simply just cannot get over the hurdle here tonight.
And Josh, these East Hickman Eagles, they have nothing to be ashamed of. They played great all season, and I think they've played well this game. But, you know, sometimes.
And right now in the fourth, you lose your big-time playmakers offensively and defensively. You lose Gobble, you lose Lampley, and that's really, really hard to overcome. And we're getting a substitution here, giving the younger guys a chance to play on the floor, even if it's just for a few seconds in this district championship.
CJ Toddy's going to get his opportunity at the line. See if he can knock down 2 quick points.
And Toddy misses that second free throw, runs it down, and he's out of bounds with 5.4 seconds.
And Josh, I thought he got that when he was going to head back to the free throw line.
It was close. It's inbounded. 5 seconds. A heave, misses left, and the Hickman County Middle School Bulldogs are the kings of the district. What a season it has been for the red, black, and white. And they're going to live to fight another day, Brody Worley.
Absolutely. And, you know, great effort by both teams. Great season by both teams. I don't know if any Hickman County Middle School teams ever had the season these two teams have had. You know, that's always something to be proud of. You know, it sucks, but, you know, with East ending their season here, this is nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever.
Of course, you saw on the sideline over there in front of the bench, Coach Walton embracing some of his 8th graders. I mean, it's going to be emotional for those guys over there. I mean, I remember back when I was in middle school, you know, my final baseball game with Coach Roeder, it was, you know, all of us were, you know, emotional wrecks. You know, it really is sentimental to these guys. We've played here for 3 years. You know, you've grown to build these bonds on and off the floor with your coach, with other players. But now for a lot of those guys on the East Hickman side, we're going to see a lot of them next year at the high school level.
Absolutely, Josh. And, you know, these are 2 great teams with some great players. These kids, you're going to see them next year as freshmen on the high school floor, both teams. And you're going to continue to see them for, you know, 4 more years.
And
but on your these 8th graders, they've put in 3 hard years of work, and there's nothing they should be ashamed of, and this is very important to them. Coming from someone who is, you know, graduating completely this year, you know, this is something that means a lot to these young guys, and you want to give them that moment.
And right now it's the East Hickman Middle School Eagles being honored at midcourt as the district runners-up, and now it's time to present the champions of the district. And Zach Bentley's voice booming over the PA system, congratulating these Hickman County Middle School Bulldogs on this tremendous accomplishment, on a phenomenal season that's going to continue for at least 1 more game. And that's really the mantra from this point on, isn't it, Brody? Just 1 more game. Keep fighting for 1 more opportunity to play on this basketball court.
Absolutely. You know, basketball is a 3-season sport. You know, right here we're in the postseason. This is win or go home ball now. So you're just trying to, you know, make it through 1 game, on to the next, and just 1 step ahead. You know, these guys aren't worried about anything other than Fairview right now. Their heads are clear, especially the coaching staff. They're not thinking about, you know, they're celebrating here, but they're thinking about Fairview more than anything.
And speaking of Fairview, the head coach of the middle school Yellow Jackets, the boys team, he was here tonight. He was scouting out both of these teams because, as you said earlier, whoever won here tonight has Fairview waiting up next. And, man, what a game that's going to be. 2 programs that really have developed a rivalry over the years. I mean, mainly at the high school level, but we know that trickles down. I mean, when you feud with a school at the high school level, that's going to carry over to middle school as well.
Absolutely, Josh. And, you know, being a fan of playing and being a fan of basketball, it's really awesome to see and fun to watch these middle school teams who are all middle school teams really just becoming more advanced and just better basketball teams. And every game's a good game.
Got the coaches, some middle school students on the floor right now, breaking it down with the team. And I know this isn't technically home, we're at the high school as opposed to the middle school, but it's a big home win for these middle school Bulldogs.
Absolutely, and this playing in the high school instead of the middle school. Yes, that's not necessarily home, but it adds another aspect of you won in the high school. It adds that on top of your win.
I mean, a lot of these kids, you're growing up and you go to games when you're little, watching the high schoolers, the big kids play, and now it's kind of dawns on you that you're winning a game on this big kid court. And for a lot of these guys, they're going to do a lot more winning here in the coming years once they make the jump up to high school.
Absolutely, and all these kids from both teams are going to succeed great in high school. Then that transition is going to be a lot easier for them than you think. But overall, I'm excited to watch both teams play in the coming years.
So, Brody, we're going to take one last once-over over the stats here in this game and sort of break down what we saw from that district championship game. And looking through here offensively, Hickman County certainly started to pile on there in the second half. We see Aiden Wilkerson specifically. He finished with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points on the night. Of course, these stats are tentative. If they aren't completely accurate, we're sorry. So Aiden Wilkerson finishing with around 12 points, double digits on the night. And he really came to life in that second half, more specifically the third quarter. So speak a little bit about what he's meant to this team, not just on the year, but tonight.
Tonight specifically, you said tonight specifically, all year he's been their guy. And in these moments, in these games, that's who you need to show up and play, and that's who you want the ball in the hands of is Aiden Wilkerson. And he struggled for the first half, not bad, but, nothing spectacular. But then he started finding a groove, and, I think he realized that this Dogs team needs him majorly, and, he's a big factor in that. So being able to step up and give the team what they need from you has such a huge factor in winning.
And, we look over the stat sheet as well. Wilkerson was really the only guy to get into double digits tonight. It was more of a balanced attack. McMurray came pretty darn close. He was at 9 points, I believe. He might have pushed over the 10 threshold if we missed a free throw in there somewhere. But really, it was a lot of different guys that score. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different guys that scored points here tonight. And that's what makes Hickman County such a dangerous team. That's why they're here. That's why their record is as good as it is. It's because of that. That diversity and the depth on this roster.
Absolutely. You have 6 guys on one team that are scoring the ball, a decent amount. They're contributing to that score, and that a team that has more than 3 or 4 guys scoring the ball is a hard team to beat. And outside of the ones that, didn't score the ball or didn't score the ball that well, it's the rebounds, the steals, the passes, all that, whether they lead to, assists or whatever that go on the stat sheet. Everything that these kids do has an impact on the game.
And, Brody, I have neglected, there are actually 7 different Bulldogs that scored tonight. Larson Beard had 1 made free throw in the second quarter. So adding to that diversity. And we look over at the East Hickman side of the stat sheet. Wyatt Stiles finished with 6, Hunter Phillips with 2, G. Lampley with 8, and Weston Gobble with 6. And, Lampley was the one that had the most points spread out across the game. He had 4 in the second quarter, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And, of course, losing him was a big blow, and just offensively they just couldn't generate much of anything. Going back to the last time WNKX covered a middle school game, it was that MTAC championship, and Weston Gobble, he had on the upper echelon of the teens on that game. He was easily in double digits with, 8 or 10 points in 1 quarter alone. But Hickman County did a great job of game planning for these scorers here tonight of the Eagles.
Yeah, Josh. both teams can't win, both teams can't lose. So, and both teams and coaching staff game plan for this game wonderfully, and you can tell that both teams executed their game plan. But somebody has to come out on top.
And just for a big once-over of the Hickman County stat sheet, Bruin Dotson finished with 4 points, Talon Smith with 2, Aiden Wilkerson with 12, Larson Beard with 1, Liam Chilton with 8, CJ Toddy with 4, and Lucas McMurray with 9. And once again, a big congratulations to the Hickman County Bulldogs for winning 40-22 in the district championship game over the East Hickman Eagles. And WNKX represents the entire county, so we want to give a big shout out for the season that East Hickman has had. We're very proud of you guys. I mean, the fan base is always awesome. The players played hard. The coaches were on point this season. So congratulations on having a successful year for the most part. But also, once again, a big congratulations to these Hickman County Bulldogs. And they will be in action on Thursday. They'll be hosting Fairview, and whether or not that game is at the middle school, whether it's at the high school, WNKX will let you know, because if it's here inside J.E. Cisco, we hope to bring you that regional championship live and in living color as well. But we will let you know. But until then, for Brody Worley, I've been Josh.